Ramses II, also known as Ramses the Great, stands as one of the most iconic figures in ancient history, a pharaoh whose reign is synonymous with power, grandeur, and enduring legacy. His rule, which spanned 67 years from 1279 to 1213 BCE, marks a period of unprecedented prosperity and cultural flourishing in ancient Egypt. To understand Ramses II is to explore the pinnacle of Egyptian civilization, a time when the empire was at its zenith and its influence stretched across the ancient world. The early life of Ramses. Born around 1303 BCE, Ramses was the son of Seti I, a formidable pharaoh in his own right, and Queen Tuya. From a young age, Ramses was groomed to rule. His education was comprehensive, covering not only military tactics, but also governance, religious practices, and the arts. His father, recognizing the importance of strong leadership, involved Ramses in state affairs early on, making him co-regent by the time he was just 14 years old. This early exposure to leadership and responsibility would serve him well as he ascended to the throne after Seti I's death. Ramses II's military campaigns. A warrior pharaoh, Ramses II is perhaps best known for his military exploits. His reign was marked by numerous campaigns aimed at securing Egypt's borders, expanding its territories, and asserting its dominance over neighboring civilizations. One of the most famous of these campaigns was the Battle of Kadesh in 1274 BCE, fought against the Hittites, one of Egypt's most formidable rivals. The battle, one of the largest chariot engagements ever recorded, was a testament to Ramses's military prowess and strategic acumen. Although the battle itself ended in a stalemate, it led to one of the earliest known peace treaties in history, the Treaty of Kadesh. This treaty was not just a diplomatic victory, but also a propaganda tool that Ramses used to present himself as a heroic and invincible leader. His depiction of the battle, carved into the walls of his temples, portrays him single-handedly turning the tide of battle, a narrative that reinforced his image as a godlike figure. Beyond Kadesh, Ramses led several campaigns into Nubia and Libya, further securing Egypt's southern and western borders. His military achievements were not just about conquest, they were also about securing Egypt's wealth, ensuring the flow of resources like gold, and maintaining the stability of trade routes that were vital to the empire's economy. The architectural legacy, monuments of eternity. Ramses II was not only a warrior but also a prolific builder, perhaps the most ambitious in Egyptian history. His reign saw the construction of some of the most iconic monuments and temples that continue to awe the world today. Ramses understood the power of architecture to convey his might and divine status. These grand projects were not just for his time, they were intended to immortalize him for eternity. The most famous of his architectural achievements is undoubtedly the temple complex of Abu Simbel. Located in southern Egypt near the border with Sudan, the Abu Simbel temples are a marvel of ancient engineering. Carved directly into the mountainside, these temples feature 4 colossal statues of Ramses himself, each standing over 20 meters tall. The temples were designed so that twice a year, on February 22nd and October 22nd, the sun's rays would penetrate the inner sanctuary and illuminate the statues of Ramses and the gods, symbolizing his divine connection. The Ramesseum, another monumental project, served as Ramses's mortuary temple. Located on the west bank of the Nile near Luxor, the Ramesseum was adorned with giant statues, columns, and inscriptions that detailed Ramses's achievements. The temple also featured extensive storerooms and granaries, highlighting Ramses' role not just as a king, but as a provider and protector of his people. At Karnak, Ramses continued the work of his predecessors, expanding the temple complex to include a massive hypostyle hall with 134 towering columns. The walls of Karnak are inscribed with scenes of his victories and his devotion to the gods, particularly Amun-Ra, the king of the gods, with whom Ramses closely associated himself. Ramses also completed the construction of the temple at Luxor, which was originally started by Amenhotep III. He added a grand pylon and two-seated statues of himself that flanked the entrance. These projects, among many others, solidified Ramses's legacy as a pharaoh who could command both the heavens and the earth, a leader whose works would endure through the ages. Religious and cultural achievements. The divine pharaoh. Religion was at the core of Ramses II's rule. He saw himself as the divine intermediary between the gods and the people of Egypt. This divine kingship was central to Egyptian belief, and Ramses took this role seriously, portraying himself as a living god, the son of Ra, the sun god. His religious devotion was reflected in his building projects, many of which were dedicated to the gods. The temples he built were not just places of worship, they were also centers of administration and power. The temple walls were adorned with scenes of Ramses making offerings to the gods, leading his people in religious festivals, and performing rituals that were believed to maintain the order of the universe, known as Ma'at. Ramses' reign also saw the flourishing of arts and culture. He commissioned countless statues, obelisks, and reliefs that celebrated his reign and the gods of Egypt. These works of art were not just for display. They were political tools that reinforced Ramses' divine status and his right to rule. His statues, often depicted in larger-than-life form, symbolized his strength and eternal presence. One of the most significant cultural achievements of Ramses II's reign was the promotion of the cult of Amun-Ra. Ramses portrayed himself as the favored son of Amun, and he greatly enriched the Temple of Amun at Karnak, which became one of the wealthiest religious institutions in the ancient world. His devotion to Amun-Ra was not just about piety, it was also a way to centralize and legitimize his power. Ramses II's personal life, the man behind the crown. While Ramses II was a powerful ruler, he was also a man with a complex personal life. He had numerous wives and concubines, the most famous of whom was Queen Nefertari. Nefertari was not just a consort, she was Ramses' beloved companion and held a prominent position in the court. Ramses dedicated a temple to her at Abu Simbel, which is a testament to her importance in his life. The inscriptions in her tomb, located in the Valley of the Queens, express Ramses' deep love and respect for her. Ramses fathered over 100 children, which was not uncommon for pharaohs of his time. His numerous offspring ensured the continuation of his dynasty, although it also led to complex succession issues after his death. His favorite son, Merneptah, eventually succeeded him, but Ramses' lineage continued to influence Egyptian politics for generations. The death and legacy of Ramses II. Ramses II lived to the age of 90, an extraordinary lifespan for the time. His death marked the end of an era, and he was buried in the Valley of the Kings, the traditional burial place for Egypt's pharaohs. His tomb, designated KV7, was richly decorated, although, like many others, it was looted in antiquity. His mummy was later moved to a royal cache to protect it from tomb robbers and was discovered in the 19th century. Today, Ramses's mummy resides in the Egyptian Museum in Cairo, where it continues to attract millions of visitors. Ramses II's legacy is unparalleled. He is often considered the greatest pharaoh of the New Kingdom, a period that is regarded as the height of ancient Egyptian civilization. His reign was marked by peace, prosperity, and a flourishing of culture and the arts. His monuments, temples, and statues are enduring symbols of his power and influence. In later periods, Ramses was remembered as the quintessential Egyptian pharaoh, and his name was invoked by rulers who sought to legitimize their own reigns. Even in modern times, Ramses II remains a figure of fascination, his life and achievements studied by historians, archaeologists, and Egyptologists around the world. Ramses II was more than just a king. He was a living god, a warrior, a builder, a diplomat, and a cultural icon. His life and reign continue to captivate and inspire, a testament to the enduring legacy of one of history's greatest leaders.